Hi, welcome back to my channel, The Daily Quest. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Elle, and I just want to make videos that romanticize my life. I have some upcoming travel plans, and I thought it might be cool to take you guys along on my trip. I'm heading to Chicago, back to LA, and then off to Cincinnati, so come along with me. First stop, Chicago. City of wind, jazz, and a dangerously high concentration of engineering majors in one building. I was here for the National Society of Black Engineering Conference, aka NSBE, aka a place where every conversation begins with, "So what languages do you code in?" There were so many booths at the career fair, tech giants, startups, and people interviewing pretending like they didn't just Google the company and its openings. Loved the workshops, loved the chance to get to meet people. I got to talk to some people at Johnson & Johnson, so fingers crossed that something works out in that regard. I ran into some UCLA graduates from my class, and I got to meet a bunch of new faces as well, who we might go ice skating with later. Also, it was called beautiful multiple times today, so I still got it. So I was actually really enjoying the conference, but it definitely peaked when they brought in the Leon Thomas, as in Andre from Victorious, to come and perform at our awards ceremony. The girls were screaming, the engineers were screaming, I was screaming, because we did not deserve that level of talent in a conference ballroom that also served like chicken nuggets earlier. Anyways, he came and blessed us with his R&B music. And he did his little, "Baby, take your time." Can't do too much because of copyright, but anyways, while in Chicago, I had to try deep dish pizza. This is the culinary equivalent of a weighted blanket, apparently. I was mad at first because they only let me purchase one slice, which confused me, but then I realized this was a meal suited for 2 people. Then I decided to play tourist. So I went to Millennium Park, where I got to see the Bean. It's really called Cloud Gate, but I don't really understand the name. It just looks like someone polished like a jelly bean for 12 years. Then also in the park, I crossed this massive sky bridge over to the Chicago Art Institute. This was one of the largest art museums that I'd been to in a long time, and they had like historic pieces from different cultures all over the globe. I thought it was super cool. It was definitely a leg workout and not something you should do during crunch time before a flight. Here's the guy who brought us Oedipus, because we all definitely needed to read that during our developing childhood years. wanted to get some food before my next flight, so I decided to head to Raising Cane's, which is not unique to Chicago, but it was my first time having it. It was very good, but I do feel it was a little overrated. Like, I don't know what makes Raising Cane's different from any other chicken shop, and people were like, oh, it's the sauce, it's the sauce. Babe, that's just Thousand Island with a bit of Lowry's and cayenne pepper. Then it was finally time to fly back to LA, where I did something completely on brand, and I went to my first fashion show.
I'm with Morgan again, and we're at a fashion show right now, and we don't know where we're supposed to be.
I got to go with my friend Morgan, who's a real one, because I got to style her completely for the show. And we tried to pretend like we belonged there. Soon, we were wrapped up in LA Fashion Week. Models were definitely serving looks. We just kind of immersed ourselves in the moment.
Okay, Morgan, what did you think of your first fashion show?
It is so fun to see it in person. It's definitely a better experience than watching it. And I didn't realize when it's in a warehouse, it's literally in a warehouse in a parking lot in the middle of nowhere. It's not like a set warehouse.
And what do we think of the clothes?
50-50, maybe 30-70, but it's about the energy in the room, and I love that. How about you?
I agree. I feel like some of the clothes, like the material looked a little off, and then the models had really cool different walks. I've never seen that before.
Try model walk. Okay.
I was supposed to fly out to Cincinnati, but my flight was canceled, so I am now taking a red eye and will be at the airport all day. So, love that for me.
I ended up landing about 2 hours before it was my time to present my research. And I was really excited because this was my first time presenting research outside of UCLA. So I made it, but barely.
Okay, so I have officially showered, changed, redid my makeup, everything, got a little more comfortable, and I got my little burgundy heels on for the fit check, I guess. But yeah, I am going to head into the conference. I have an hour before my presentation, so wish me the best of luck.
I gave my presentation about the power of literature in amplifying Black voices at the National Council of Black Studies Conference, which sounds fancy because it is. It was super cool to be surrounded by so many Black academics, but due to the DEI rollbacks, some people were definitely missing from the conference. I just want to take a second to say that an investigation of Black history and culture is not DEI. It's a space for academia. It's not about equitable opportunity necessarily. Being a part of this conference really emphasized the stance that I want to take in preventing the erasure of Blackness. After the conference, I needed a second to decompress, so I decided to explore art and nature. However, I had to remind myself that I am so not an outdoorsy girly. So I hiked up this huge staircase to the Cincinnati Art Museum, which was definitely an underrated gem. I loved seeing the artwork there, but it was a bit smaller than the Chicago Museum. Then I ended up taking Google Maps all through Eden Park. Had me going up and down hills in bell-bottom jeans, which was so not the move. But I finally made it through the park and over to Crone Conservatory, which was absolutely beautiful. It was straight out of a jungle tropical movie. So many beautiful plants, orchids, and there was even a waterfall. And lastly, I went to the National Underground Railroad Museum. This was absolutely powerful. It was heavy, moving, and necessary. 10 out of 10. So many interactive exhibits. Definitely stop and visit if you can, especially since museums like these might be losing funding in the near future. This museum is so appropriate because it sits right at the Ohio River, which was quite literally the border between the North and the South during the Civil War in the United States, which predominantly surrounded the continuation or the cease of slavery. So that concludes my slightly chaotic, very nerdy, weirdly fashionable 3-city adventure.
And now I'm back in LA. I'm back in my home state. It's good to be home. It's good to be back and to relax for a second. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like, subscribe to my channel for more content and vlogs like this, and be sure to hit the bell icon so that you can be notified. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video where we can find new ways to explore, create, and level up.